Hey gang, this is Mike with my Real Estate Dojo. And today's lesson is about the number one mistake that I see coaches, gurus talk about when you find a motivated seller and how to negotiate with them and then how to sell them. And I'm here to tell you that's all bullshit. Because if you're in the arena of dealing with motivated sellers, your only job is to dig and dig and dig till you find that motivated seller. When you find a motivated seller, there's really no negotiation to be done. That's why it's called a motivated seller. I read books, I see people that I have paid for, and they talk about, your job is to go find a seller and then convince them to go with a really 60 cents on a dollar deal, or persuade them to do owner financing. And I'm here to tell you that's fucking bullshit. Okay? Your only job is to keep digging and keep digging and keep digging till you find that one motivated seller. That one motivated seller is just gonna give you the fucking property, dude. It's just simple as that. Now, what you do need to know is how to structure that deal when you find a motivated seller. But if you're thinking that you're gonna go and market and you're gonna find a seller and you're gonna learn this sell strategy or this pull strategy or push strategy or this negotiation, or if you say X, if you say Y, then you're gonna somehow convince this seller's mind that he's gonna give you the fucking property, you're fucking kidding yourself, dude. Here's the reason why. Me and you, we don't even control our fucking heart rate, dude, right? Think about that. We don't control our own fucking heart rate. How the hell are we going to control somebody else's fucking mind, dude? Their own thinking. So think about that, okay? I don't give a fuck what skills you have. Unless you have some superhero power like the X-Men where you control somebody's fucking mind, I don't give a fuck what strategy you use. For example, let's say I'm selling this knife right here, and I want to get $100 for it. I don't give a fuck what strategy you tell me. If I want to get $100 for it, I'm not going to give it to you less than $100. I don't care what coach told you, what tactics you try. If you insult my ego, you insult my property, whatever, dude, I'm not going to sell it to you. Now, same story, and another seller. He has the same exact knife. He's motivated. He wants to move, let's say. Or his wife said, hey, dude, if you don't get rid of this fucking knife, I'm getting a divorce. Dude, with this guy, he's willing to give it to you, dude. Way less than $100. So your job is to keep digging and keep digging and keep digging to find that one motivated seller that's willing mentally in their heart to just let go of this property, dude. And that's it. They don't want to deal with the property anymore. Once you find that, then all the education is going to come into play. Okay? But just to blindly go out there and just say, I'm going to talk to all these sellers and I'm going to convince them I've learned this tactic and I learned that tactic, that's all bullshit, dude. Because in the business of finding motivated sellers, your only job is to find it. Once you find it, then the education comes into play. How to structure the deal. Are you going to do a cash? Are you going to do a terms? Are you going to do a wrap or subject to or whatever? That's when the education comes into play. There's no way that you could convince another person to give you a deep discount or give you their house via owner financing. There's just no way, dude. I want to see that. Okay, I don't believe it in my heart because I'm a motivated seller right now, and I know what I want to get for the property. I don't care what people say. I'm only willing to get it for that price, even though I'm motivated because I've priced my property way low. And I've already done a video about that where sometimes you're combing through, let's say, Craigslist, and you'll find a guy that has a house price, let's say the house is worth this much, but he's already priced it here, okay? That's how I do it when I'm motivated, right? I've already priced it low as hell. In this case, you don't need to go negotiate. You don't need to go beat this guy up. You just go and take the property and that's it, because he's already priced it right. Some other ones are motivated, but maybe they priced their property exactly the same price as what it used to be, what the fair market is. But that's where the calling comes into play. That's where being able to be a good listener and asking open-ended question and really caring comes to play, because your only job is to identify the symptoms and find a motivated seller. So let's go back, because there's two parts to this video. So part number one is you're not going to be able to convince, persuade, sell, negotiate somebody to give you a property at a deep discount or owner financing. You're not going to be able to do that, dude, no matter whatever you fucking think or whatever anybody told you. You're not going to do that. Forget about that. So your only job is to find motivated sellers. So you got to dig, and you got to dig, and you got to dig, and you got to make 500 phone calls, like as one of my friends says on Facebook. That's what you got to do. Now, let's say you call 10 people. Let's make it real simple. One of these people are going to be motivated, ready to go, dude. No matter whatever, you don't have to do anything. They're just ready to go. The other 9 people, which is point number 2, is you have to find symptoms. So point number 2 is when you're making that 500 phone call, you're going to find that cream of the crop that says, here's my house, I'm motivated. The other 9, you just got to listen and understand the symptoms. And then you have to do follow-up. Because in the business of dealing with motivated sellers or distressed sellers, some are willing to give you the property like this, but many of them have symptoms, which means that eventually if they don't get that problem solved, that disease is going to blow up and they're going to be very, very motivated like that 1%. And your job as an investor, it doesn't matter if you're buying houses, you're buying cars, whatever, is to listen to that symptom and then put it in a follow-up system. Call them back in 1 month, 1 year, 6 months, because your only job is to wait for them to be harvested, wait for them to be baked, because you're not going to be able to do what I told you. Number 1 is to convince, to change, to sell, to negotiate anyone to become motivated. Motivation comes internally, dude. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with your fucking mouthpiece, whatever the books say. It has nothing to do with that. Motivation comes from the inside of the brain, dude. The person themselves. Your job as an investor is, A, keep digging till you find that one motivated seller that's like, they're already there, they're already harvested. Or 2, listen for the symptoms and have a great follow-up systems to call the seller over and over and over till they are ready to be motivated. And that's the fucking truth, dude. If you work with motivated sellers like what I do, I only deal with motivated sellers. I don't buy from houses, banks, I don't do REIs, I don't do all that shit. I just deal with motivated sellers, and that's all I do. And this is the truth. They're gonna be motivated, and you gotta just dig till you find them. Or 2, you gotta be a good listener, have great follow-up skills to recognize the symptom and say, okay, this symptom, if this guy doesn't solve it, he will become motivated. So I'm going to put it into my follow-up systems and I'm going to keep calling them. And that's what the majority of the people fail, because they don't listen. And that's a big problem. You go to Starbucks, you go to Whole Foods, the guy says, what do you want? I say, hey, I want a coffee, and I don't want any room in the cream, and I want a water. 2 seconds later, he's like, do you want some room for cream? 3 seconds later, do you want water? See, because people don't have listening skills, so they don't listen. So they're not going to be able to identify what is a motivated seller's symptoms. So that's one of the reasons they fail, is because they can't identify what a motivated system is. And then number 2 is they don't follow up. If they identify it, they don't follow up, man. Follow up could be 1 year, it could be 5 years, it could be 3 days, it could be 30 months. I have no idea, because every person is different, and you don't have a crystal ball. So it's your job to follow up. And follow up could be anything from an email, sending texts, calling them, sending them letters, whatever, dude. Knocking on their doors, whatever you feel fit. Every customer is going to be different, dude. So what am I saying to end this story? If you're in the business of dealing with motivated sellers, you got to dig till you find one that's like, here it is. And you're not going to be able to convince anybody to become motivated, which is point number 1. And point number 2, you have to have really good listening skills to learn the symptoms of the seller, to be able to tell you, is this a good lead should you follow up with? Okay? And that's it, guys. If you do these 2 things, you'll be able to put like $2 or $3 grand down and turn to $60,000, $70,000. You're able to do wholesaling, where you don't put any money down, you don't have to do any construction work, you don't have to do shit, just put it on a contract. You can do anything you want if you deal with motivated sellers, because why? Because this is America. It's a great country, dude, and that's why I tell you guys to go hustle and bustle and don't take no for a fucking answer, guys. If you like these videos, please share, leave a comment, and have a great day.